If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonic's Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics. If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonic's Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics. If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonic's Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
Moro bari biba ma diari mbakel konkoto murkoto le konkoto futo koto purkoto muto nyaade man nin kolko sila koto wakata sate koto prince ko yatala mamanta nan entertainment wala be mbakela semega jane wori ka fo me kora awo kala purata enti be korontoro kan ala karam fa janni wala yenyum kora be mba min da kanake Gambia jang sato dao da tata jen kamale ka fo kora awo amma kan man ten kunno banko ka iko banko nyaton ko minketa adama baroti anala numo nyo fosli fatma baba ye nim ben kere sika ya ditel la ka nyaton ko amadou kora wo fanam be jele don ajaratu fatu sonko bakaw kora mansa ni aje be kumbola tumbun ko to salon ko dal ko lon do sabu kora man ke bi fenti baraka ha ko batar la be on mbeje ko dura ndamu be mele neti he baba dalba aho moro bari biba ma diari mbakel konkoto murkoto le konkoto futo koto purkoto muto nyaade man nin kolko sila koto wakata sate koto prince ko yatala mamanta nan entertainment wala be mbakela semega jane wori ka fo me kora awo kala purata enti be korontoro kan ala karam fa janni wala yenyum kora be mba min da kanake Gambia jang sato dao da tata jen kamale ka fo kora awo amma kan man ten kunno banko ka iko banko nyaton ko minketa adama baroti anala numo nyo fosli fatma baba ye nyim ben kere sika ya ditel la ka nyaton ko amadou kora wo fanam be jele don ajaratu fatu sonko bakaw kora mansa ni aje be kumbola tumbun ko to salon ko dal ko lon do sabu kora man ke bi fenti baraka ha ko batar la be on mbeje ko dura ndamu be mele neti he baba
Ya Fatu's Guest House, dama ne jox leen ma seen noppay yéen ñi nga xam ne ni bëgg ngeen a dem Farafenni nag ñu bari den fay bëgg a dem di xalaat ndax am naa mbokk aw ma mbokk fan laay dem dëkk ak fan laa du dem dëkk seen coono jeex na seen xalaat jeex na te si biir Yaa Faatu's Guest House ñu ngi leen fa amal li nga xam ne ni moom mooy ko self
saala cabinet
ñaari cabinet ak saal
single room
néegi nag nekkul ne la naa jox waaye duñ leen laaj mooy sore naa ñëw indiwaale leen seen yére kase ndaxte yére yi sax foo leen koo def ñu ngi leen ko amal saala cabinet yi bu nekkaa nga am lal bu nooy saal bi ñu ngi ko defar ba mu yaaña toogu yi nekk fa télé bi nekk fa channel bi nekk fa channel bu la neex ngay cuun waaye nag amuñ si loolu rek yéen ñi nga xam ne yéenay dem ak seen famille ak seen njaboot benn nit wala ñaari nit ñu ngi leen fa amal waañ yu baax waañ yu yaaña bagage yi waañ yëpp ñu ngi fa yow yaay xool loo bëgg a togga rek nga teg si gaz bi daal di taal togga lekk sa xol sedda
léegi tamit nag aman lañ leen lii di AC ak ñu nga xam ne fan rek lañ am waaye amuñ si loolu rek ñu ngi leen amal fu nga xam ne foofu ngeen di toog ngeen fiixlu seen xel dal ñu ngi leen amal ndox ak courant 24 hours amuñ si loolu rek njëg bi yomb ba bëgg a dee
fu ñu nekk nag neex a xam ba bëgg a dee si gannaaw gaaraas si base bi foofu sa Farafenni lu néew rek ngay dox am si marché bi jënd loo bëgg delluwaat sa kër ak Yaa Faatu's Guest House mun nga noo jokkoo ñun si 790 1355
35 30 489
no email si ombay7843@gmail.com si Yaa Faatu's Guest House su leen fa demee dinañ leen jox customer care service bu baax seen xolay sedda ba ni ngeen fay jógee Yaa Faatu's Guest House Yaa Faatu's Guest House lii leen amal yéen ñuy dem Farafenni saay boo leen tëddee nelaw leen ndaxte Yaa Faatu's Guest House génne na seen coono bi yëpp fii si biir dëkk bi Yaa Faatu's Guest House Yaa Faatu's Guest House Gam Showbiz in focus with Kalilu Banjang every Saturday from 8 to 10 p.m.
You want to know about the Gambian entertainment industry? You want to know the existing policies and programs of the arts and culture sector? You want to know about the governance and management of the arts associations? The program will throw a fresh light on the entertainment industry in focus. We will touch so many angles about the cultural sector, the opportunities and challenges, and interrogate them, and most importantly, offer solutions.
Paint and everything li ngeen soxla ci seen boutique seen néeg seen këri ees yi dama ne jokkoo nag moom ci 331 3415 331 3415 nekk foofu sa Serekunda ci Kistown jokkoo leen ak ñi nga xam ne ñoom ñooy SB printing design ñu designal leen ba seen xol sedda lii sedda sa xol ñun loolu moo ñu soxal ak SB printing design taaral sa kër taaral sa dëkkuwaay SB printing and design dama bëgg ngeen jox ma noppa bu baax bi yéen ñi nga xam ne ni di ngeen am seen kër yi ees yéen ñi nga xam ne di ngeen am ay boutique wala ay salon wala lépp li ngeen xam ne ni méngoo na ak wàllu peinture ak design jokkoo leen ak ki nga xam ne ni moom mooy Uyo Seku Bojang xarañ lool si liggéeyam xam li muy def mun ko te di ko def ak SB printing design lépp loo leen na ma si xeetum design paint and everything li ngeen soxla si seen boutique seen néeg seen kër yi ees yi dama ne jokkoo leen ak moom si 331 3415 331 3415 nekk foofu sa Serekunda ci Kistown jokkoo leen ak ñi nga xam ne ñoom ñooy SB printing design ñu designal leen ba seen xol sedda lii sedda sa xol ñun loolu moo ñu soxal ak SB printing design taaral sa kër taaral sa dëkkuwaay SB printing
bari biba ma diari mbakel
konkoto murkoto le konkoto futo koto purkoto
muto nyaade man nin kolko sila koto wakata sate koto
prince ko yatala mamanta nan entertainment wala be mbakela senega jani hori ka ko me kora awo kala purata enti be korontoro kanne ala karam fa janni woni
yenyum kora bemba min da kanake Gambia jang sato dao dai tata jen kamale ka ko kora awo amma kan man ten kunno banko ka iko banko nyaton ko min keta adama baruti anala numo nyo first lady
Fatma baba
ye nyim ben kere sika ya ditel la ka kenyaton ko Amadou Kora wo fanam be jele ben ajaratu fatu sonko bakaw
Kora mansa
ni aje be kumbola tumbun ko to salon ko dal ko lon sabu Kora man ke bi fenti
baraka
ha
ngoy batar la ben ko
mbeje ko dura anda mo be mele neti
he baba
dalba
aho moro
bari biba ma diari mbakel
konkoto murkoto le konkoto futo koto koto
muto nyaade man nin ko sila koto wakata sate koto
prince ko ya tele mamanta nan entertainment wala be bemba kala senega jane hori ka fa me kora awo kala purata enti be korontoro kan ala kanam fa janni wala
yenyum kora bemba min da kanake Gambia jang sato dao da tata jen kamade ka fo kora awo amma kan man ten kunno banko ka iko banko nyaton ko min keta adama baruti anala numo nyo first lady
Fatma baba
ye nyim ben kere sika ya ditel la ka kenyaton ko Amadou Kora wo fanam be jele ben ajaratu fatu sonko bakaw
Kora mansa
ni aje be kumbola tumbun ko to salon ko dal ko lon sabu Kora man ke bi fenti
baraka
ha
ngoy batar la ben ko
mbeje ko dura anda mo be mele neti
he baba
dalba
aho moro
bari biba ma diari mbakel
konkoto murkoto le konkoto futo koto koto
muto nyaade man nin ko sila koto wakata sate koto
prince ko ya tele mamanta nan entertainment wala be bemba kala senega jane hori ka fa me kora awo kala purata enti be korontoro kan ala kanam fa janni wala
yenyum Kora bemba min da kanake Gambia jang sato dao da tata jen kamade ka fo Kora awo amma kan man ten kunno banko ka iko banko nyaton ko min keta adama baruti anala numo nyo first lady
Fatma baba
ye nyim ben kere sika ya ditel la ka kenyaton ko Amadou Kora wo fanam be jele ben ajaratu fatu sonko bakaw
Kora mansa
ni aje be kumbola tumbun ko to salon ko dal ko lon sabu Kora man ke bi fenti
baraka
ha
ngoy batar la ben ko
mbeje ko dura anda mo be mele neti
he baba
dalba
aho moro
bari biba ma diari mbakel
konkoto murkoto le konkoto futo koto koto
muto nyaade man nin ko sila koto wakata sate koto
prince ko ya tele mamanta nan entertainment wala be bemba kala senega jane hori ka fa me kora awo kala purata enti be korontoro kan ala kanam fa janni wala
yenyum Kora bemba min da kanake Gambia jang sato dao da tata jen kamade ka fo Kora awo amma kan man ten kunno banko ka iko banko nyaton ko min keta adama baruti anala numo nyo first lady
Fatma baba
ye nyim ben kere sika ya ditel la ka kenyaton ko Amadou Kora wo fanam be jele ben ajaratu fatu sonko bakaw
Kora mansa
ni aje be kumbola tumbun ko to salon ko dal ko lon sabu Kora man ke bi fenti
baraka
ha
ngoy batar la ben ko
mbeje ko dura anda mo be mele neti
he baba
If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics. If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world, Supersonics Money Transfer has got you.
Lunch break. Council, if you can continue, please.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Can continue. General.
Yes, Council. Yes, thank you for coming back. I reviewed a bit of the testimony. And there is a clarification that I feel obliged to make. When I asked you, what if Alaji Martin confirms that he has beaten Bunja Dabo?
Sila ninga tar Alaji Martin waya sabatindi ko ay Bunja Dabo ay tajire yale.
The conversation that followed seems to have been understood to mean that he has in fact confirmed that he beat Bunja Dabo.
Murunda fele ko nyomo diamo nyinga tandile ko ay Bunja Dabo ay lipale.
Which is not the case.
And womanke kwoti.
Martin denied slapping Bunja.
Martin balanda ko amam Bunja tulubu fadi.
But he did say that he was taken out and tortured.
So,
but the commission would look at all those things and try to draw its conclusions. I do this because I believe that that is the only fair thing to do. Because the impression that derived from my question, when I really looked at the conversation that followed, it seemed as if you understood my suggestion to mean that indeed Martin had accepted doing it, when in fact that is not the case.
Kumono lulu bulata wonoma anata me yitandi wole nyintiko abele ko tonya Martin sontale ko kaye Bunja lipale bari amanke wotide nonna take wole nyintiko Martin e menfo wole nyintiko bring Bunja bota panelo nyati limu je tonya ya sambale koma la bantala ya tajiri yaje bari amanke ko ay nyimfo ko ateye Bunja tulo bunne panelo nyati limu la konoto je amunta amawofo lafta wala dinkira seneyandila.
All right, so now let us proceed.
Thank you, Council, for setting the record straight.
Thank you very much. So now
I would add my voice to that, and thank you for clarifying that and to ensure that on our rules of procedure and as human beings here, we treat our witnesses with respect. The rules of procedure require that we treat witnesses with respect and fairness, which is what Council has just demonstrated. But thank you, Council. Yeah.
Chairman, Council, Nakul Sambanya Jang. I remember wala nyinti nyanta mobe kanyandili nyanta tilino mobe leke be tembendi. Yo bidon Council yo menketen wolum koti nyanta purka poseniyandi alanyani akenya Council yo leta manditen bidon balum barala wakama chairman la kumo kasuti anda munta la kumo bemu nyineti purka wodinkira seneyandi lamoirla no judirlaliye.
Thank you, Sir Chairman. That is why people have trust in this commission.
Thank you very much. Now, you have earlier on talked about the interview environment. Because the interview environment is quite important in determining that the confessions were in fact properly obtained, or whether there were rights violations. You have had Bunja He said that the junglers were present in the room with their guns. There were up to about 20 people. And the environment was threatening. Is that the truth? And General, let me put this marker. There is no single witness who alleged that you personally tortured him. There is none. There is also no witness who said that a person under your direct authority did any beating or torturing. Do you understand?
Well understood, Counsel.
Thank you. Perhaps maybe that would make it a bit easier. All we are asking about is the truth about what happened and the circumstances in which it happened. And General, now I roll out the red carpet. The truth is, this was a very difficult environment for a lot of people who were involved. A lot of things happened that were wrong. We need to know the circumstances in which those things happened. What were the reasons why the situation was allowed to degenerate to that level? I just leave that marker there. Think about it. In the meantime,
Counsel, probably if you can give me an idea of those issues you are talking about.
There was rampant torture of the detainees. There was rampant torture. There was a system in place. Witnesses are brought before the panel before they are tortured. Sometimes they are tortured then taken to the panel. If they refuse to confess before the panel, they are taken down and tortured. At the end of the day, all witnesses confess. Because they were tortured. It was done in such a way to give you the panelist plausible deniability. Because it was not done blatantly in the panel setting. But witnesses who refused to cooperate were ordered to be taken down. They were tortured until they confessed. That is what happened. You may not have agreed, but you went along with it. Perhaps because it was felt that was the only thing one could do under the circumstances. Did it happen like that?
Ko nyi lata wala nyama ba aketa wala.
Yes, answer could save us all this trouble.
Jabiro di ha worono ben tankandila nyin ko nyimbela murumuru wala.
At the end of the day, we would all come back to that. Did it happen like that?
And so is that your conclusion?
I said, did it happen like that?
Let me know if that is your conclusion.
My conclusion is irrelevant. My conclusion is unimportant. What I have just done is to summarize the evidence to you. This is one perspective of the evidence. Do you agree that that is true, or do you say it is false?
And so that is false. Simply because I've said before this commission here that the confessions were done without anybody touching them. After the confession, whatever follows will not happen during that period. That one I know. Because we never accepted anybody to be tortured in the conference room. Our objective was for them to confess or not to confess. So after their confession, what was the need again for them to be tortured, to confess on what again? I have referred you to the GRTS videotape, where you will be able to assess for yourself to see whether those people sitting in front of that tape and making their statements, their confession freely, were being tortured or not. General, I ask you this again. Did you at any point in time know that witnesses were being tortured and forced to confess?
Konyi wijo yingono fo anata nila karamutan doro ko fo ni sedo nying fo eke nyini kala puru ye tonya fo I force kono bang fo hani abukake.
That wasn't true. That didn't happen in the panel. What happens outside the panel, I have no control and I wouldn't know.
Mr. Witness, it looks like you did not hear what I said.
I got you clearly, Counsel. Probably the answer you need from me, you did not get that. I don't need any particular answers other than the truth. And it is the truth that I've said. And it is the truth I shall obtain. And it is the truth I will say before this commission. We would see where it would end. That is fine. Fantastic. The issue here is that you guys had a system. Torture these guys and bring them before the panel, and they will confess. If they refuse to confess, they are taken out and tortured again, brought to the panel until they confess. That is why
all of them confessed. So that confession was obtained by force, and it was not something that was surprising. You told the commission it was surprising that all of them confessed. They all confessed because they were beaten to a pulp and brought before the commission and they confessed. You deny that was the system. I am not saying that they were tortured in the panel, you sitting there, they were being tortured. Some were beaten, slapped a few times in the panel. But the bulk of the beating, it's just like we sit here. We asked the witness, and the witness refused to answer. We got the guy standing in the perimeter, pick out this witness and take the witness out, beat the hell out of the witness, and bring the person back here, and the person sits and confesses. That was the system that obtained. And that is why you're claiming what happened elsewhere. I don't know. But every single individual there knew that these people were being tortured outside and put back to sit and confess. That is what happened. True or false?
And so we've already drawn your conclusions. So what do you need to hear from me again?
That is the truth, isn't it?
You've drawn your conclusions. You did not ask me first before putting this before me. And I made it very clear to this commission that to the best of my knowledge, whenever an individual is brought before the commission, the person will be seated comfortably and be given the opportunity to give his own verdict. And I have said that after we are done with that, the statements are taken. After which, we send them back to Mile 2. So whatever happens out of that conference room is not to our knowledge, and we have no control over it. Okay. I will make this clear. It seems as council you have drawn your conclusions because of the way you put your case. Just ask me that this is what X, Y, and Z said. And you allow me to confirm the veracity of that statement. Now you are making a statement, meaning that you already believe in that. Then what do I say again? Because now you've put my own version aside.
Mr. Witness, I won't put any version aside. I have framed the version that we have in our statements. I have put it to you. That if you put together everything that the witnesses said, you guys had a system of torturing people either before they come before the panel or after their initial appearance before the panel, beat them to a pulp and get them to confess. That is the truth, isn't it? That is a question.
That is not the truth.
Okay, then, fantastic. So now let's go through the details and see what conclusion we would arrive at. Wasa Kamara. He said you were there when he was tortured when he was brought before the panel? Were you present?
Council, I will not remember the time they brought all of them. All I know was at a particular time I was in the panel.
Well, let me put it to you that Wasa Kamara said you were there. That's what he said. Do you deny that?
I will not deny, I will not accept. Take it. I said I will not remember all those that came before me in the panel. I know a good number of them appeared before me in the panel. Remember, I've said here that at a particular time I was relieved of my presence in the panel. But if Wasa Kamara says so, take it that way.
Thank you very much. And Wasa said, as he was being questioned, on the table, they placed a hammer, a small chisel with blood stains, and a tooth. And he was being questioned, and he was being told that he would be killed if he did not accept. The junglers were there, and that's why he confessed.
Council, I've made my position clear on that. If the same was sat on this chair and confess his involvement in that particular coup, narrating before this commission that he went to Abuko Art Station, saying it here, and not saying it before the panel, then what do you take from him? Is he not a tainted witness? Why didn't he say that during the confession in that panel? If at all he denied that. In the court martial, he denied that. Why didn't he confess? So how could such witness be trusted?
I think this is about the 6th time you are saying this.
Because it keeps coming. If you don't want me to talk about it, then let it not come on.
I want you to talk about it.
Okay, that's why I'm here.
But let's agree to abbreviate it.
Okay.
Was all these witnesses, they lied before the court martial? Or they said one thing before the court martial and here they're saying something else? Can they be trusted? If we summarize it that way, we all know what you said. So we do not have to repeat all these arguments. Agreed?
Let's move on. When we reach at the 2009 that I was implicated, you will see the difference what I'm trying to say.
I really want to reach there.
Let's move on. I'm ready.
And if only you cooperate and answer succinctly and clearly, precisely, to the point, we will get there. And very soon. Can I
be guided when you say clearly? Because I will answer them to the best of my ability. And I've been doing that from the beginning of my appearance here.
For whatever that is worth, I'll leave it to the commission and I'll proceed. Wasa continued to say that as he was trying to answer questions posed by Haidara, somebody who walked behind him Gave him a nasty slap and scratched his eyes. Someone said, leave him. Is that true or false?
False, certainly.
And then he said, he heard someone say, Baba Abula. Did Baba leave him in Mandinka? And somebody said, Baba Saho, please stop and take it easy with him. That is how he knew it was Baba Saho who slapped. Perhaps this is the reason why Jammeh wanted Baba and Fodebari to come to the panel.
Is that your conclusion?
I said perhaps.
I don't think we are here to rely on perhaps. We are here to talk of realities. Tell us the reason why Yaya requested for Baba. That is what the commission means. The commission don't need anything like perhaps.
You told us the reason, Mr. Witness.
That
you said Yaya was not satisfied with how things were going at the panel.
Yes.
So he asked, you said yes.
Yes.
So he asked you to bring Fodebari and Baba Saho.
But what about the issue of the beating that you are talking about? Was that what Yaya was satisfied with?
Well, Yaya wanted answers. Yaya wanted confessions. You guys were not getting confessions.
Council, let us talk of realities, not like what you feel.
Okay, if you were getting confessions, why was Yaya Jammeh not satisfied?
You can ask Yaya about that, not me. I'm not Yaya.
Okay, I will leave it at that. The panel was set up to achieve results, to achieve confessions. You guys were not getting confessions, so he directed that certain people be brought in.
Not to accept confession, but to accept the truth.
Okay, so this guy is lying that he was tortured. What's a camera?
Inside the conference hall, it's a lie.
Yes, he said inside the confession it's a lie.
That is a lie.
And outside the conference hall? Was he tortured?
I wouldn't know because I wasn't there. I was in the conference room.
After being tortured, they being brought back to you. How would you not know that they were tortured?
Council, I have said before this commission that the need for the torture is for the individual to confess. But this was somebody who confessed before the panel that yes, they planned a coup. So without anybody touching them.
So General, it was your view that all these people came and miraculously all of them confessed, nobody touched them. That's your view, right? You want the commission to believe that?
Yes, because they knew that they were all involved in the coup d'etat.
Well, they are saying that they were all tortured.
So this is my statement then. That they weren't tortured before the panel.
Okay.
I've given that scenario here, like in this case. All right, somebody be tortured in this case. Here.
All right, let's proceed.
If I accept it, why will not?
Let's proceed. I am telling you about a system of work that you had. Bring the person. If the person does not confess, take the person out and torture the hell out of him. Bring the person back and get the person to confess. All of you knew that that was the system. You can close your eyes to it and refuse to know it, refuse to accept it for some reason. But the truth is, this is what happened. Is it true or is it false?
Council, this is why me and you will keep going back and front.
Yes,
if you say this is the truth, you say this is the truth, what confirmation do you need from me again?
I want your version.
You have drawn your conclusions that this is the truth.
Okay, let me...
So you take that.
Okay, let me rephrase the question. Is this the truth?
I have said that this wasn't the truth.
Okay. Let me read you a statement of one of the participants. This is Malik Jata. He was one of the torturers. He was one of the junglers. Now you have had the victims. They all confirmed that they were tortured. You say they are lying. Now let's hear the torturers. And Malik,
council, get me right.
You understand what
I said? They were tortured in the conference room. And I said, whatever happens out of the conference room, we have no control over it. The issue of the junglers you are talking
about your knowledge. We are saying you are fully aware of what was going on. You knew 100% that these people would be taken out and tortured and brought back and sat there to give their confession. You all knew that this was the system.
What would have been the sense for the torture? What would have been the sense?
Because they haven't confessed.
That is why I refer you back to the GRCS videotape. Okay. Make an assessment and you see.
General Tamba, you are not the only person present. That's the beauty of this whole thing. That
is why I have to speak the truth.
Okay, let us hear the version of the others. You are there with other people working in tandem. So, hear the story of the others. Malik Jata said as follows. When the panelists would investigate and ask questions, if they are not satisfied with the answers to the questions that were posed, and finding the suspect difficult to put him to proof as to what is desired, they would advise the patrol team commanders to bring down the men would be whipping them. That is what I saw and myself I did. He was asked, what would the men do? Whipping them, beating. And he was asked, what was the purpose of that beating? And he said, the purpose of the beating is to get the truth from the man, to get the truth or get them to confess to what they wanted. And here he says what you wanted, but it meant what they wanted. Yes, that is a confession. A confession, it means truth to me. That is Malik Jata. He said that is the system in which he participated. You deny that is the truth.
Counsel, you said that he said the reason for that was for them to confess.
Yes, that's what he said.
Does it make any sense to torture somebody who already confessed, for him to confess again?
You did not listen to the statement.
I did. That's the person I'm talking. He said the reason was for them to confess.
He said if the panel is not satisfied with the answers that the person has given,
the
panel would advise the patrol team. They would take the person down and torture the person. Because the person has to confess. Is Malik Jata lying?
The person has to confess. What about if the person already confessed? Will there be any need for that?
Obviously, if all the people you brought there miraculously confessed, there would not be the need of the patrol team and the junglers.
Sedo be ni ara kan ñu dembe na je fangol le kasong ila de di mudia nyin kan wota jarata ata jarala la pour ka ñu patrol team mol nati je pour ka ma beje.
But they were there.
Bari beje
Throughout.
Wato be
with their regular supply
and isulata ko kula akatare bulije
of drugs and alcohol.
Walam dolo aning sirama fengo dolti.
Who gets that regular supply?
I don't know.
That's what we are saying. I'm hearing that from you, with regular supply of drugs and alcohol. You don't have to speculate if you don't know.
But that is what they said. They said they were having their alcohol and their drugs.
That is why I'm asking you, so you don't know. Tell me that that's what they said.
If only have for called drugs, from Anudolo.
They said they were having their regular supply of drugs and alcohol. And they were given this job to do, and they were doing it.
And the supply was coming from the panel?
I never said that.
So let that be clear too. You see, you are mentioning to me, probably it was the panel giving them.
It wouldn't matter who was giving it to them.
It matters.
Okay, let me leave that.
If you say it didn't matter, then all what we are doing wouldn't matter.
Are you saying that Malik Jata is lying?
Yes, in this aspect. Of saying that when they don't confess, we will take them down and torture them. I have said it clearly here that at the beginning, it was only Bunya's involvement we knew about. And that same Bunya was the one who narrated all those who were part of it.
We have to go back to that. It's not necessary. It has nothing to do with the questions I am asking now.
I've answered your questions.
All right.
You are not satisfied.
No, I am satisfied with your answer.
Fine.
You see, for me, I am not interested as to what answers you give. What I am interested in is bringing out sufficient evidence for the commission to be able to draw its conclusion.
Including my own testimony.
Of course.
Yes.
And you would see the work we are doing. All we are doing is to try to bring out the truth, irrespective of which direction it lies.
Witnesses
have sat here and lied against Yaya Jammeh. I show it that the person is lying against Yaya Jammeh. Witnesses have sat here and lied against you. I showed it that they are lying against you. And for as long as I have this job, I will continue to do that. Because my interest is not in personalities. My interest is in the truth and justice, wherever that may lie. I will proceed.
So do I. That's why I accepted to come and sit on this chair.
Thank you very much. Ali Job, he testified. He said he was brought in and he was asked questions. And then they said, let me just quote verbatim what he said. When they asked me, I told them I did not tell late Captain Famara Jammeh anything. And I don't know anything about the coup. Then there was nothing they could get from me. They said that I should be taken to the ground and within the premises of the NIA. But I cannot remember where exactly. Those same junglers who picked me from mile 2, who were Malik Jata, Sanamanjang, Michael Korea, and Rambo. And I cannot remember the others. Immediately I arrived, and so strange, I saw a plastic bag which was used to cover my head and tied it at my neck. I was asked to kneel down with my hands cuffed behind, and they started beating me. I was mercilessly beaten until I could not kneel down anymore. I had to lie on the ground. There something is missing. Maybe raised me up and continued beating at the same position. After continuous beating for more than 15 minutes, I was handed over to the soldiers who took me to mile 2 with plastic covering my head. And then, well, he spent the night at mile 2. And then he was taken back, and he gave his confession. Did he lie? The order was given at the panel that he should be taken and brutalized.
Was that what he said?
Yes.
From what you read?
Yes.
I didn't hear him mention that the order was given for him to be tortured.
Okay. He said, there was nothing they could get from me.
Yeah. Just read the full text so that I will understand. That they could not get from him. Who? And where? But it could be maybe those downstairs torturing him, could not get anything from him. So read where he says it was the panel could not get anything from him.
So were they torturing downstairs?
That was what you said in the previous ones.
But do you agree that that happened?
I wouldn't know, I was not downstairs. I was in the panel, upstairs.
So you never know that torturing was going on in within the premises?
What I know was the panel did not sanction for any torture because the arrested persons confessed before the panel. So there was no need to go and torture them.
Mr. Tamba,
I've said this here, that after we are done with them, they confess. What happened to them next downstairs, we will not be privy to that.
Okay, let me break it down.
Okay.
The system was as follows. If you don't get a confession from the witness, you will send the person downstairs to the junglers for them to torture the person. And after that, a confession would be obtained. You can close your eyes and refuse that this happened. You can refuse to acknowledge that this happened. Give yourself deniability. But the participants in the system said this is what was going on. Malik Jata said that is what was going on. Aliu Jeng said that is what was going on. Ismail Ajame said that is what was going on. Usman Sane said that is what was going on. All these junglers confessed that this is what they were doing at the NIA during this period. Of all the witnesses who appeared before this commission, you are the only person to deny that this was the system.
And so you said here that if a confession is not sought,
It's not obtained.
It's not, yeah, it's not sought.
Sorting is...
Yes, it's not sought, it's not obtained.
I hit the...
If a confession is not obtained,
yes,
that they are taken downstairs and tortured. What about if a confession is given?
I have said it here clearly.
I have said it clearly.
I don't have
during my presence in the panel. Certainly those arrested confessed without anybody touching them. That is why I'm referring you to the GRTS cassette. Because you play this one here,
I will continue.
Seek for that one and you play and you see their confession whether they were somebody who was tortured.
All right.
So I have said it also that anything that happened to them out of the panel, we have no control over them. I've told this commission that we have no control over the junglers.
Mr. Tamba,
we have control over the conference hall where we carry our
Mr. Tamba, perhaps that is the reason why the system was designed that way.
That is your conclusion.
To give you plausible deniability.
But I think the council, you should not base your fact on imagination. You said it here that when Parinsanya was tortured, and he sustained, was he tortured? You said it here, and he sustained injuries.
No, I ask you,
Parinsanya
was Farin tortured?
And so you read the statement of Farin here before this commission, that he said he was tortured.
Do you accept?
And when I saw it, if you allow me to learn, you will get my point.
I ask you a question.
We are not in a court of law. Allow me to explain. You said here that Farin said that he was tortured. And he sustained injuries to the extent that he could not face the panel. And he told this commission that immediately I saw that, I expressed my anger. And in fact, I did not allow those junglers again who claimed tortured him to escort him back to my school. I had to get a fresh team to escort him to my store. If I can do that, to the extent of getting a new team to take him back. If I say torturing was not happening there, I think that should suffice it.
Well, sorry to disappoint you, but that in fact proves that torture was happening.
In your own context, fine.
Because Farin was tortured. You cannot deny that.
That was what he told me.
Exactly. And you saw the blood. Didn't you?
That was why I took that action.
Did you take Farin to the TV?
If the TV was not there. The TV was there at the beginning when they were confessing. During the confession, that was when the TV was there.
All the witnesses said you could not take Farin to the TV because the marks of torture were completely visible. There was blood all over.
That is not true. The purpose of the TV's presence was to take their own confessions, but after which the TV was not coming there every day. That was the early part. Then
you know Per Mendy, don't you?
Per Mendy worked under me. I was the very one who encouraged Per Mendy to sit for the officer cadet exams and give him all the support.
Would you say that Per is an honest person?
Certainly, I know him to be an honest person.
Per came before the panel, didn't he?
Who would you ask that? I'm not a member of the panel here.
But did Pur come before your panel? In 2006.
2006
Yes, he did.
Exactly. And this is what he had to say. On Saturday around 10 p.m. I was taken to the NIA where I was taken directly to the panel. Among the panelists was Lang Tombong, Usman Sonko, Baba Saho, Fode Bari, Modo Haidara, Boto Keta, Lamin Cham, Demba Sow, and the Junglers. And I was asked to inform them all that I discussed with Dur Cham. Haidara said, why do you plaster your head? I told him that Malik Jata struck me with the butt handle of a rifle on my head. Baba Saho said, do you think you are fit to be alive in the next minute? I raised my head up the ceiling and I saw mosquitoes flying. If mosquitoes are fit to be alive, why not me? Meaning that's how he responded. Then Haidara rushed towards me, attempting to slap me. But he was stopped by Baba Saho. And listen. So Hydra instructed the junglers to take me downstairs to torture, to the torture area of the building. I was instructed to sit down on the ground. And something that's not clear. They said the light was was put off sticks. Twisted wire, hose pipe, hammer started raining on me. For 15 minutes they were continuing to pounding on me. When I started telling, they said stop because blood was coming out from the previous place that Malik Jata hit me. And blood was flowing from my left eye down to my cheeks and onto my chest. They gave instructions to them to take me back to mile 2. On Tuesday, I was taken back to NIA, where I was contracted with independent witness from Bara, who signed my statement as independent witness. Even Pear, who you believe is an honest person, I have seen him testify on TV. If my opinion is anything that counts, I will conclude he is an honest person. He too confirmed that Haidara ordered that he be taken to the torture ground. And he was tortured. And the next time he was brought, he signed a confessionary statement in the presence of an independent witness. Is he lying?
Counsel, I disagree where he said that Haidara was also on the same footing with me.
Haidara simfa abe singa
I've never seen Haidara instruct for somebody to be tortured. I've never seen in the hall Haidara got up and give a slap or whatsoever to an accused person. Okay, that was the first time I had a joint session with Haidara. But I found him to be a perfect gentleman who is very professional in his duty. That I have seen in him. And I disagree to say Haidara will be a party to giving a slap to an accused person. Because it never happened in that hall. In most instances, Haidara always insists that they must not touch the accused persons because they already confessed to their participants.
General.
Yes, Councillor.
I ask you again. I am not suggesting. There is nothing in the evidence that suggests to me that you directed torture. There is nothing in the evidence which says that you expressly agreed to torture. Expressly. There is nothing in the evidence which says that. But the evidence suggests that you knew that torture was going on. For whatever reason in the world, you closed your eyes to the fact that torture was going on. You were contented to sit at the panel and do your work and blind yourself that torture was going on outside. I think that is the limb you have to deal with. Did you have knowledge or you deny having knowledge?
Council, that is your own version. For the mere fact that I told
hear me out. I insist. I refuse. I reject the personalization of it. It is not me. I'm summarizing the evidence and putting it to you for you to deny, accept, or explain. That's all I am doing. There's nothing personal.
Council, that is not true. If I can see Paring, I will get that as an example again. Paring in that state, and I express my dismay to the extent that I got a new team to escort him. So that those same people who brought him and tortured him will not get close to him. Then I don't think I will be aware of any torture, be a party to it or condone it.
Okay, thank you very much. Let the video of Yaya Dabo be played, please. The reason why I am playing the Yaya Dabo video is we are told that they confessed before before the GRTS cameras
isontale giates la camera nyatilingola.
And if they were tortured, it would have been very obvious in the video. Could you play Yaya Davos? Play it from 31 minutes. Hold a second. Whilst the video is being looked for, I'll go to another topic and then I'll come back to this. All right. Of all the witnesses in this subject or on this subject who appeared before the commission, all the victims, and all the torturers, they all agreed that the system was they were being tortured with a view to obtaining a confession before the panel. But General Tamba, your view is that these people had already confessed, so therefore there was no torture necessary.
General Tamba
and you did not know of any torture apart from firing. That is your view, right?
That is my position, Council.
Demba Dem. He was a civilian who appeared before the commission. He too confirmed the fact that he was tortured by the junglers, taken upstairs to confess before you, the panel. Is Demba Dem also lying?
Could you confirm what date he was arrested?
I am unable to do that now. I am unable to do that now. I don't want to say something that is misleading.
I think if you get the dates he was arrested, it will help you.
It will help me.
Because I did mention here that the case of Sharif Mustafa Diba led to my removal from the panel. If my memory serves me right, Demba Dem didn't appear before me in the panel. That is why I want you to confirm the date of that particular statement. To ascertain.
I can tell you that Demba Dem confirmed that you were present when he was brought before the panel. So you were there.
Is that your conclusion, that I was there?
That is what he said.
Well, that is why I said try to confirm his date of arrest and the date of appearing before the panel. That will help you to confirm whether his statement is true. To the best of my knowledge, I can't remember them appearing before me in the panel. So just confirm it with his original statement. Compare it with that of the time the former speaker was detained there. The very day he was arrested. That will help you to ascertain whether I was in the panel at the time. Were you replaced in the panel?
I
didn't know. I was just instructed to return back to my office and continue my work.
Malong. You are acting CDS.
Correct. I was appointed CDS the following day. That is the 22nd.
Better still. Better still. So if a soldier, if a member of the Gambian National Army, I mean state guards, if a member of the regular army was deployed to the panel, you would be the one to give the person the directions, the instructions to go to the panel. Correct?
Certainly I would know.
Good.
Even if I don't give the instructions, I should be informed.
So, do you know of anybody from the Gambian National Army who was sent to the panel? After you were removed?
I never sanctioned for any member to be sent to the panel.
You said if it would have happened,
yes,
you would have known.
Yes.
The witness was asked who were there. He says, I recognize the police, the NIA, and personnel of the Gambian National Army.
And
he was asked who was there in the panel. And he was asked whether Tombong Tamba was present. He said yes. Muhammadu Haidara, he said yes, he was present. Usman Sonko, he said yes, he was present. And then he hold a second.
Whose statement is that?
And he was asked, so my question is whether the same people from the previous day were present on the second day. Can you confirm? He said, for the first day, I did saw them, but for the second day, I saw only Tumbul Tamba. But for the first day, when Alaji Martin was slapping me, they were both sitting there. So he was also slapped in the first day he appeared by Alaji Martin in the presence of the panel, and he said, you are present.
Council, I've said this, we don't need to dilate on this topic. Confirm, when was he arrested? When did he appear before this panel? You can compare it with the day the former speaker was arrested. Because the day the former speaker was arrested was the very day I was removed from the panel. And to the best of my knowledge, if I get it right, when most of the civilian component were arrested, that time I was already out of the panel. That is why I refer you to check the dates.
We will do just that.
Okay.
We will do that, and we would see. We would advise the commission. But the witness went on to say, he was asked, and you said that this panel, after you were tortured, you were brought back to the panel and you were forced to say something to make confession and you refused.
Kom kabila nyini kaya samba ya tajiri ya inatamuru na commission panel nyati lungu puruka somu ibanyine kaka minna.
And he was taken downstairs again and beaten. He said, yes, that is true. So is it correct that all times the panel, its entirety and individual members of the panel knew that you were actually being tortured by the black boys? He said, oh yes, obviously yes. So it was obvious to everybody, all members of the panel, that people were being tortured.
Obvious according to our accused person.
Yes.
Yes. And you believe in that?
No. Forget about what I believe. Is it true or is it false?
Until I have made my position clear to this aspect. And I have said that as far as I am concerned, accused persons are never tortured in the conference room. It happened out of the conference room. That would be to my knowledge. I have given an example of Paring. Why should I be mad with the torture of Paring? And be a party to encouraging others to be tortured?
You have to answer that question.
I actually because I have explained and explained, still you are bringing me back to the same issue.
Okay. Let us hear Alaji Martin discuss the system that they use. You know, we have heard from the victims. They all have described the system in the same way. You said they are lying. They are not to be trusted. All right, even pair whom you trust describe the system in the same way. We have heard from the torturers themselves. They have described the system. You say they are lying. Now let's hear from Alaji Martin. Remember, we will hear from all the categories of participants. Let's hear from Alaji Martin. Let's hear part 2 of his...
I am okay with that. You can play their versions.
Yes. Volume. The whole essence of this panel, we are to extract confessions from all those people who were brought before the panel. Oh, I wouldn't know that. It was the NIA who are responsible, not me. We were just there to see what is happening. The NIA were doing their job, Council. I accept. Yes. The NIA were doing their job. Yes. Okay. What I want you to tell us is, what was Yaya Jammeh expecting from this panel? He expect the NIA to give him a strong feedback as per the allegations. Martin, stop. No, I'm telling you, he wanted them to give him a feedback as per those who are part of the coup. He wanted to receive confessions. Yes. He wants to know, Council. Confession and wanting to know and confession and feedback are completely different. My proposition to you is that Yaya Jammeh wanted to receive confessions from those who were implicated, no matter what. Yes. Yes, that's true. That is true. Yes. That is your testimony. Yes, that's true. He wants to know because they are alleged.
Listen carefully. My proposition to you is that Yaya Jammeh wanted to receive confessions,
Yes, correct.
from all those who were implicated in this coup,
Exactly.
no matter how those confessions were obtained.
Exactly.
And he sent you to be his eyes and his ears.
Me alone. Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, you
We
and your
are a team. Almamo was there. Musa Jammeh was.
That's right. Okay.
Even the IG was there.
Yeah, we will come to that.
Okay.
We will come to that. So your team was sent to be the observers and the listeners for Yaya Jammeh.
Exactly.
To make sure that those confessions are obtained.
Yes. Correct.
And no matter how those confessions were obtained. That is your testimony.
Yes.
So now let's try to understand how those teams were organized. Can you tell us the various services that were represented in this panel and the division of responsibility?
I do know that the NIA are directly in charge. It's their wholly and solely responsibility to carry out the investigation. But along the line, you have the IG was there, and then you have other officers from police who were part of the team too. And then from on our side too.
Okay. All right. The police component that was there, what were they to do?
No, well, they were there as investigators. They investigate too.
And what were the tasks assigned to them?
Yes, for them to investigate.
But you've just told us that it was the sole responsibility
Yes,
of
but the police
NIA.
too. The police too. Yeah, go ahead.
Hear the question. If we speak over each other, you won't understand the question, and we also pose a problem for the interpreter. Let's listen to one another, okay? So, I want us to understand. Look, you are helping the commission. So we want you to explain to us what were the institutional arrangements at the time? Which institution was responsible for what? That is what we want to know.
Yes, at that time you will just see all of them there and doing the same job. The police were there investigating, the NIA too, they were doing their job at the headquarters of the NIA.
What was the job of the NIA?
Yes, investigating.
And what was the job of the police?
Investigating.
And what was the job of your group?
Yes, for us to observe. And listen.
Okay. Yes. I put it to you that the job of the NIA was to pose the questions to those who were accused of planning to overthrow the government.
Exactly. That's what I said.
And the police were there to write the statements of these people.
Maybe that's that was their role.
All
they were there on the
fact. All the statements were written by the police.
I wouldn't know because we will not know who gave statements. For us, we.
But you were there to observe for Yaya Jammeh.
Yes, we observed and then report back to him.
And you wouldn't know who wrote the statements.
Statements will always come from the NIA Council. It's at their headquarters. NIA headquarters, the Director General is there. He will most write a report to the President.
We're not talking about reports. We're talking about the statements.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Those who were interrogated.
Yes, they will interrogate and send a comprehensive report to the President about the statement.
Forget about report for the time being.
Okay.
Let's talk about the statement of a witness who appears before the panel.
Exactly.
Who takes the statements? Who writes down the statements?
The police were there, and then the NIA too were there.
Which unit, which outfit would write the statements?
Council, at that time you will see everybody writing. The police were there taking note. NIA too were there taking note. That's how the panel was.
Do you understand what is statement taking?
Of course. You take statement of somebody who, yes.
And how does that process unfold? What happens in that process?
Yes, they question and then they write. They take statement of the individual.
And okay.
Yes, they will question and then they write statements.
Before the entire panel or separately in another room?
There are people
people will write statement there at the panel. But the information we have is that witnesses would come before the panel, they would be asked questions, and when they are ready, the person would be sent to a separate room and the police would take a statement. I can't recall that. I can't. So, okay, but you agree that the police were there? No, they were there taking statements, the NIA too were there doing. And you have the panel members asking questions. Exactly. And you have your group. Yes. Observing what is happening. Is there any other group from State House participating in this process? And that was the arrested group, the escort group. And apart from arresting and escorting, what were their responsibilities? They always beat, torture. So we want you to explain to the Commission and to the Gambian people how this system operated. You had various components of the state put together by Jammeh, and you said the objective was to extract confessions from these people. So can you explain how this mix worked to produce the confessions that Jammeh wanted?
No, the NIA were just investigating, and then the jugglers were responsible of escorting and then beating if you refuse to talk. And that was their mode of operandi. Their modus operandi was beating if you refuse to talk.
Okay, thank you for that answer. That is what we were looking for. But we want you to break it down to that primary 3 child who is sitting next to his mother watching television. That child wants to understand how the government was doing it. Break it down bit by bit. Explain the various parties, their roles and what they were doing to extract these confessions for Yahya Jammeh.
The jugglers were the ones responsible of arresting at that time, especially during Jam's era. Yes, they go for arrest. Anybody who is mentioned, who is part of it, they have to go and then arrest you.
Okay, so when they arrest, what do they do?
They arrest you, take you to mile 2 first, and then take you back to the NIA for questioning.
And explain to us the setting of that questioning. How would it unfold?
No, it's a panel. That's the panel. That's what I'm saying.
So the panel would be sitting
like,
just like the commissioners.
Yes, like the commission. No, it's just like a
U-shape.
Yeah,
like a U-shape.
Yes, and then he will be sitting there, and then they will be questioning.
Okay, and who would be seated around the table?
All the officers will be sitting. NIA officers, the police, and then they will bring in the guy who is accused.
Who would be bringing the guy accused?
Yeah, the junglers will bring.
The junglers will bring in the guy accused. So then the person would be asked questions.
Yes.
Okay, if the person does not answer,
then the junglers will take you out.
So the junglers would come back
take you out
and take the person
out,
and then
deal with you.
And what would that involve? That dealing with you?
Yes.
What would that involve? Dealing with you?
Yes.
What would that involve? So they'll torture the person.
Yes.
And while the panel members are there, they will be hearing the cries and the wailing of the person.
No, it will be far. You will not basically per se hear the cries, but they will beat you, and then if you are back, you will definitely know that you were beaten.
So the panel members are there knowing that this person is really being tortured at the moment.
Yes.
So they wait for the torture to continue. They wait for the torture to happen, and then the person would be brought back.
Yes, yes.
So when the person is brought back, the panel members know that the person has been tortured.
Yes, they will know that he has been well taken care of.
Well taken care of means well tortured.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. General, is Alaji Martin lying about the system?
Alaji Martin, Allah doku nyal kake nyamu nyamenga. Abefani Allah ba?
Mike. Maybe you can get Alaji Martin to reaffirm that.
Sikeno, isi Alaji Martin von soto no puruka ukuonyinga sabati ndikube.
Because I've not sat in the panel with him.
Karunde na nam Alaji Martin mantara nyoka mpanelo.
So I don't know how you expect me to affirm Martin's testimony.
Let me address
that point. You said you have not sat with Elijah Martin in the panel.
That's what I said.
Every witness, every victim witness,
said
that you were there with Elijah Martin.
What was my statement?
Your statement is you were never there with Elijah Martin.
What was Elijah Martin's statement?
Elijah Martin said he was there with you once. But he doesn't know about the other times.
That once could have been the day I called him to come and escort Farid Sanyan back to my I told this person that I said I
You said no speculation.
Certainly, I'm trying to get my statement connected. Because if, for instance, if Elijah Martin was called to the panel by my own self, whether he can escort Farid Sanyan back to my because of the condition in which I saw Farid. So that clearly states that he was there with me that one day. And does it show that you were never there together at any other time? Does it really say that? That is the case. Elijah Martin, Mr. Tamba clearly told you what his role was. So me and Martin were not sharing the same role. I said this year that General, let's not deflect the issues. Let's not conflate the issues. There is nobody suggesting that you and Martin had the same role. The different responsibilities of members of this whole machine has been explained by Martin. We have explained it in this morning. Of the various components of this important confession creating machine. You had the questioners, the statement takers, the torturers, and the video makers. All this component works towards getting Yaya Jammeh the confessions he wanted. That's what all the witnesses said. Victims, torturers, and observers. You are the only one so far to deny this system. Is that you call denial? Are you accepting? I am putting my facts across. When you say denial, so what does that represent? Denial. So you don't believe in my statement. General, you can take the ones who believe it. General, understand me. I don't have the latitude or the responsibility to accept or deny what you say. That is a matter for the commission. All I have to do is put across the facts that I have from the evidence to you. If there are facts that support your case, I would bring them out. If there are facts that are against your case, I'll bring them out just to give you the opportunity to try to explain them. Here we are in a situation of over 11 witnesses all saying the same thing, and you are the sole witness denying that. So who determines the facts? The commissioners. But you said that you bring out the facts and present it to them.
I bring out the too many facts that are contained in the documents. and present them to you, I confront you with the facts, and you respond to them. Because what we don't want is for the Commission to rely only on what is contained in the statements or the evidence of victims.
The Commission is too professional for that.
I want to believe that I too am too professional to do otherwise.
So you take what I give you and present it to them.
Let's do it in a better way. You are here. You are sitting there. You present it to them yourself. I just guide you.
I am talking, they are hearing, they are listening. I already made my position clear.
Okay, and your position is that all these witnesses are lying.
It is not me to determine. You said you are gathering the facts and present it to them. I am giving my own facts.
And your fact is that all these witnesses who suggest that you were part of this arrangement, wherein you knew very well that victims were being tortured, these people are lying.
This
witnesses cannot be trusted. They are tainted witnesses. They had made previous submissions. These were the same witnesses that fabricated lies against me. That is why I said the Commission will determine. Because a tainted witness can never be trusted. Whether in this particular case or a case before this. So that is why I don't have anything to say on that. The Commission will determine. Because these witnesses, they were angered. Because I was among those that foiled the coup. That led to their arrest. Certainly, what do you expect from them? What reaction do you expect from them?
That set of witnesses, they are biased, right?
Personally, I cannot trust them.
But the junglers would not have anything against you, would they? In fact, all those junglers confessed to their crimes before the Commission. Going by your logic, they are to be trusted because they were honest.
And
in that honesty, they incriminated you in this offense, in these tortures. That they were torturing for your group. That's what Malik Jata said. Malik Jata, he did not have an axe to grind against you. Ali Jen did not have an axe to grind against you. Oya did not have an axe to grind against you. Pa Usman Sane did not have an axe to grind against you. Ismaila Jame did not have an axe to grind against you. All of them described this system and confessed to participating in carrying out the tortures. And Malik Jata clearly stated, if witnesses would not agree to what is expected by the panel, they are taken out and tortured. Alaji Martin, who belongs to a different category, he just confirmed that same system. So all of them, those who are angry against you, those who have no reason to be angry against you, all of them together in one voice explained the system, which says it was these tortures which produced the confessions, and that you were aware of them. What do you say?
And so that is not true. The fact is this, and I will repeat it again. What is the sense of the torture when the accused persons already confess to them committing the offense? And you don't want to take the point that I was the very one when I saw Paring Sanyang in that condition to intervene and even asking for those who did that to me. So if torture was our order of the day from the panel, was the sense again for me to confront Paring Sanyang? Do you agree, General, the extent of getting a new team to escort him back? That tells it all. I've told you that those witnesses you're talking about, they were aggrieved witnesses. I told this panel, this commission that the junglers, most of their actions are not under our control, and they don't report to us. So for you to suggest that because the junglers carried out those whatsoever you talked about, so it was to the knowledge of the panel or the panel stands on it. Personally, I will never be a party to those kind of so up to now, you deny knowledge that these suspects or victims were tortured. They were not tortured to the knowledge of the panel. You have the opportunity to listen to other members of the panel. You have the chance to compare the two facts. I have here the statement of Haidara. Okay. And we would see whether you had knowledge or you did not have knowledge. Okay. He said, the panel agreed among ourselves and promised to conduct an interrogation that will be free of torture, as professional as possible, to avoid legal deadlocks during any trial. Before I proceed with the quotation, let me just put it on record. I offer no opinion on the veracity of what I am going to read out. Good. And he went on to say, this was further made real by allowing all suspects to freely talk to us without any handcuffs. Of course, the victims have denied that. The victims said they were taken there in handcuffs. But this is his statement. And he went on to say that having said that, the panel refused to be naive. And we refused, excuse me, and we were uncompromising in getting to the bottom of the issue at hand. Which was high treason. However,
despite all our efforts, or all the efforts of the panel, even after suspects have had fully cooperated and given the panel their best of knowledge, the state guard personnel, aka junglers, who were operating outside the panel, were involved in brutal tortures and maltreatment of the suspects. The panel tried everything to stop them from brutal treatment of the suspects to no avail. I personally spoke to then CDS Tamba to try and see if he could stop the soldiers from such brutal acts outside the panel. Mr. Fodebari also asked CDS to indulge, and the CDS did spoke to late Musa Jame in my presence.
Fodebari fanan diamu ta CDS le Tamba bari Musa Jame fanan mealan ko ata baluri ngo fanan akita multi
CDS diamu ta min nyala
diamu ta nyala
in the panel room,
panel la buñ ko naje,
and in an uptone, in a loud voice, to tell his boys to allow us to do our work and stop the brutality. But nothing changed. We continue to show our concerns, citing it could potentially sabotage our work. But Musa Jame told us openly at some point, you guys should do your work and stop interfering in our job, because we don't interfere in your work. This statement was plain and clear. And to further push them could be dangerous for us. The likes of the late Tamba was even heard saying in Mandinka, Kebako altel kabalafa meaning that the ex-president said, we at the panel were too nice to the suspects, but that did not sway us from our main focus, which was getting the facts and nothing else. Did he lie that you knew what was happening? Did he lie that you guys discussed the brutalization of witnesses?
And so I think this is why me and I'll say again we'll be going front and back. I never said that the junglers were not torturing. But I did say that it was not happening in the panel. And there's a person, I was listening to you.
The question, this is not about,
I was listening to you.
Just hear me out.
The same statement that you read.
I had to bring you back on track.
Yes,
this is about knowledge.
You read it to me. I am bringing an issue that you read there.
Let's talk about the knowledge. Did you have knowledge that the junglers were brutalizing these witnesses, these suspects? Did you have that knowledge? You have all the time, consistently since this morning, denied having any knowledge. I asked you, was this plausible deniability? You said no. You had no knowledge. Everybody said that you had knowledge. You said ask Haidara. Haidara is now saying that you had knowledge.
Council Haidara said he reported this to me. You can read the statement again. He said these tortures happen outside the panel. And he reported it to me.
I said that to you. I said that to you in no uncertain terms. And so the system was the witness or suspect who refused to confess is taken outside and tortured. You denied knowledge of that.
Yes, simply because I have said that the accused persons accepted the allegations against them before the panel. You read out Farin Sanyan's statement. Farin was not taken from the panel and tortured. Farin was being escorted from mile 2. When it came to my knowledge, I took action. So that means to say, if I know of any action of torture, certainly I will take action as I do. Going by higher statement, he said these people have been tortured outside the panel, and that he reported the matter to me. Now he should have asked Haidara whether action was taken the time because anything of that nature that comes to my knowledge, certainly I always act to make sure that a stop is put.
General, earlier on, I have set out the markers. I told you I was going to roll out the red carpet.
What is the red carpet?
Well, the most convenient point for you to work on. The most plausible explanation that I thought could be gleaned from the evidence. You said the junglers were not under your control.
Certainly, I confirm that.
Obviously, you were therefore powerless to stop whatever they were doing.
Certainly, especially issues I'm not, privy to.
Well, that is the problem.
The one I was privy, that is the case of Farin Sanyang, I knew about it, I took action. So that is why I'm saying acts I was not privy to.
You see, General, all the witnesses said you were privy to these things. You all knew what the system was. You may not have agreed to the system. You may not have been able to stop it. You may have even been suffering from pain of knowing what was going on. But the fact of the matter is, according to these witnesses, you knew what was going on. The Keba wanted it to be like that. And you resigned and did not do anything about it. That is what this man said.
Did he say that I didn't do anything about it? Read that person.
Just a minute. Let me read what he said. He said, Fodebari also asked CDS to indulge, and CDS did spoke.
You say nothing was done about it?
No, I did not say that.
Of course, Council, just listen when you said it.
Just hear me.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay. Then he said, we continue to show our concerns citing it could possibly sabotage our work. But Musa Jame told us openly at some point that you guys do your work. So the statement was plain and clear, and to further push them could be dangerous for us. And the likes of late Tamba was even heard saying in Mandinka, Kebako Altel Kabalafa Yiniyobake. So you guys just resigned and acquiesced and condoned the system. Torture for confession.
Council, this is, I always say, me and you will be going front and back.
I will
back. I have told you that at a particular time, I was removed from the panel. And what led to my removal from the panel? It was because of my refusal or my advice for the former speaker to be released. That advice did not go down well with the president. That was why I was immediately removed from leaving Hydra and for the Bari and the others in the panel. So at my level, knowing about these tortures we are talking about, with information from Farin Sanyang, I acted immediately. I not allowing the junglers to escort him back to mile 2. And from there,
did you file a report against those junglers that they have violated the laws of this country? Did you do that?
Report to who?
To their superior officer?
Their superior officer was the one sending them.
The superior officer to
do what?
That is the highest authority.
To do what?
They confirm to you.
To do what?
Be in the panel. We assigned the rules of escorting,
and they have violated the laws of the land. Did you report it? You are a superior officer, the head of the Gambian National Army. You saw your element. A soldier was tortured by a branch of the army. If they would have been under your authority, you would have court-martialed them, wouldn't you?
Already, the time I knew about this.
The question is, shouldn't you have court-martialed those junglers if they were under your command and control? I would have sanctioned them. Did you feel obliged to report to their superior officers that these people have violated the laws of the country? Especially against your own element?
They were under a command there. They were under a command there. And that command was informed about it. Hydra mentioned in his statement that it was Musa was confronted. About what was the response from Musa?
To cut a long story short, General Tamba, you were all scared to do anything about it. You were all scared to do something about it. That was the truth.
Council, I will tell you, all the former CDS don't have a hand or a control over junglers. Hence, in this situation, they were not under my command. Of course, I had no control over them.
General, I have said it over 20 times. You had no control over them. And I will repeat it. You had no control over them. Are you satisfied?
Yes. And that was what I confirmed.
And the issue is, you all knew what was going on. You were scared. And you just resigned. These tortures continue. Confessions are obtained. And these guys were prosecuted. And convicted.
That
in that arrangement, it may have been extremely difficult for you. If that is the case, let's say it.
Council, in the military, there is what we call command and control. Command and control. Command and control refers to those men under your direct control that you can instruct at any given time. But those not under your command and control, over them. But that is the situation with the junglers. They were not under our command.
We are repeating the same thing.
They were under the command of the president. Virtually he has command and control over them. That answers your question.
No,
I decided to explain further for you to understand.
I understand the concept of command and control. That is my bread and butter. That's what I do every day. I am not a military man, but I prosecute war crimes cases. So I must know the concepts of command and control. I must know the concepts of superior responsibility. So that is not the issue here. The issue is, this is the Truth Commission. The objective is for us to sit together as Gambians and discuss the mistakes of the past. Wherever mistakes were made, we accept that mistakes have been made. We apologize to one another. We try to reconcile and move on as one people. As Gambians, free from all differences. Just one people. And we move ahead. And to focus on national development. That is the whole essence of this. But unless the truth comes out, reconciliation would be difficult. Healing would be difficult. Unity would be difficult. Moving forward would be difficult. Development would be complicated. That is the whole essence of this. And that is why this is very fundamental and profound. That is why this is the most important activity in the state at the moment. It's difficult to accept mistakes. But if only we are bold enough, accept the truth, accept mistakes, we all forgive each other, I think we will be creating a better Gambia. And that's the whole essence here. On this particular dossier,
Come again?
On this particular dossier, on this particular case, this investigative panel, serious mistakes were made. That's the issue.
That is our conclusion. That is fine. You can go ahead with that recommendation. But if I informed the commission that the junglers were sent to the panel by the president. They carry instructions from him. So whatever they do there, certainly you know that it is not under the control of the panel. The problem we have is not accepting that the panel had no control over this. That is not a problem. We all accept that. The problem we have is your acceptance that these things were happening, whether you had control or not. And so we just want us to debate on this till tomorrow. I don't mind. I told this panel that when I saw Paris Sanyang in that situation, and of course he confirmed to me that that was done to him by the junglers. And when he told me about that, I acted immediately. The situation. You see, General, what else do you are unlike General Martin. He is General Martin, I'm General Tamba. General Martin and General Tamba. Precisely, General Martin clearly accepted that this was the system. General Martin. So you want whatever Martin accepts, I should accept. I should not keep my point across. No, I want the truth. Okay, so what I'm saying is not the truth. Then put it aside, you take the truth. No, I am saying that everybody who is being interviewed, people who worked with you, the leader of the panel, General Martin, who represented the president, the junglers, who were sent there by the president, and the victims themselves, all of them agreed that the system was torture the victims and obtain confessions. All of them have accepted that, except you, General. I disagree. Hydra never mentioned the issue of torture the victims and obtain confession. Not only that, the victims, they confessed from day one when nobody taught them. And that is what Hydra said. General, what followed after that? If you have a witness who has confessed, why would you take the person back to the NIA to be interviewed? What happens is sometimes when the confession comes very late and we close the panel for the day, the next day the victim will be brought to that has happened to us even during our arrest. The panel can interview us, send us back to mile 2, and bring us another day to obtain our statement. What was happening? You see, Mr. Witness, you are simply in denial of a very obvious fact that these victims were tortured in the presence of the panel. That is not correct. I disagree. Hydra never mentioned that. Hydra would not mention that. Yeah, because it's not popular. We don't want to believe in what we are saying as the panelists, that I have given an example Who in this panel here will accept a victim to be tortured in the presence of everyone? I'm giving an example. This is a scenario. This is what I'm saying. This is not a laughing matter. We are here for seriousness. Let us be serious with issues. When we laugh on things, it means they are not serious matters. We are not here for fun. I don't see any of the commissioners, smile even. What is the sense of
personalizing this?
Personalizing what sense?
Yeah, can I just stop personalizing this?
What sense?
Don't hit below the belt.
What sense?
I have a right to act the way I feel. This is when you laugh, it is fun. This is so serious. If I don't put forward this posture, I would probably be very angry at what has happened. Young Gambian soldiers have been brought before this panel and so badly brutalized. Some have been electrocuted. Terrible things have happened.
People appear before this panel, they kill soldiers, 8 soldiers. How did you behave to them?
Fine.
How do you behave to them? So if you want to be brutalized, that was made clear to them that they all committed crime. Also, those soldiers, rebels that kill soldiers. What do you do about it? Well, Chairman, sorry.
Mike. I didn't think that we will come back to this. Bishop, you wanted to make a point. Please go ahead.
Indeed, Chairman. General, I would enjoy that you calm down a bit and ceasefire. Now,
Bedan puru saja ko sabar domading saja ko ijuso sumia.
You have made comparison between this commission and the investigating panel at the NIA.
Ko yenying ko sumande ka je kon ngin commission aning panel mi alon ko yolle londinu NIA.
But I reason to say that the comparison is not fair.
Ko barente bela fla kamin fo wala ko ngin ko fulol kanyande amanya na kala wanyama.
Because
Atun
at the setting here,
niaje na sioto nyame mbesire nyame njam.
all the sittings
Sio min beketa
are being televised and recorded at the same time.
Nga be video le andum fana nga safe wati kilimo kono abeke kanyame.
And I don't think that was the case with the investigation at the NIA panel.
Remember wosinya sifa wole keta nyatonko kafo ni million NIA kamivo panel.
At the point that you brought GRTS.
So, alinata futa blato false alinata GRTS fanan kamana.
It was when you had already
Watu natake watu minha alu
got the victims
alinata ni mantoro molu soto
to agree to a confession.
Ni alonko alinata le fali soto ko ito sontawe.
That was the point that you brought GRTS.
Alilafta mino watu alinata GRTS kamana.
But had you brought GRTS from the onset,
kabring alia follow ali GRTS natu mungele ba,
then it would be fair to say
that
we go and get those GRTS recordings of the investigations that were going on. So that's another thing. So it's not fair for you to be directing us to take the end points when the beginning and all the other proceedings were not recorded. Now you keep on talking about Fadin Sanyang since this morning. You've been telling us Fadin Sanyang. General, you are not deaf. You have heard you well. I think what perhaps the difference between you and the lead council
lead council tema
is whether or not the tortures took place at the NIA. And I think this is what has been dragging on from yesterday up to today. If tortures did not happen, just tell us that it did not happen. I think that will help us rather than, just going up and down. Since yesterday to today, even you have suggested that you are ready to go for 1 week. So I would crave your indulgence that let us, try to speak to the issues to avoid this debate. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. We are certainly not going to go ad infinitum on this issue. We are not here to drag these proceedings endlessly. Try to convey that message yesterday politely. It didn't work. I don't want to resort to using the gavel to a point where I may even break it. This is the first time that really hit it hard. So we bring some order and decorum to these proceedings. I'm not sure it's a good reflection on all of us. And to have a CDS, very senior leader of this country, during whose testimony got down to this level. I'm not saying that you're the only one to be blamed. We are going to find a way of getting out of this mess that we are in. Well, one thing you can be sure of, no matter what prevarications we come up with, the mandate given to this commission is going to be pursued. A witness coming here, prevaricating, repeating that, is not going to stop us. We are going to continue the work, and if the commissioners have anything to say at this point, please indicate, and we will continue. Council, you had a procedure point to make. Please. I'll let you proceed as you're doing, and then I'll take the floor to bring out evidence on a point that was raised by Bishop Odiko. The material, the video was unable to play earlier on. You recall I did say we wanted the evidence of Yaya Dabo. So I want to be able to have the opportunity to play that. It would address the point raised by Bishop Odiko. Splendid. Okay, fine. So it doesn't seem that anyone wants to do that. Please go ahead and
Chairman,
raise the point. Thank you very much, Mr.
Chairman. I think I should be given an opportunity to react as well.
I'll come back to you at some point, General, if you don't mind. Just wait. Go ahead and raise the procedural point. Thank you very much. I have here the video of, ma'am, could you help us? The video of Yaya Dabo.
Yaya Dabo, the video,
and he would explain his situation, what happened to him. Please go ahead.
At what point did they cuff your hands?
He's departing from mile 2. Then they asked me questions by my role in involvement. By tonight, I was not involved. And as these questions were going on, somebody just took me from behind. I fell on my stomach.
May I ask that you take it at least 1 minute behind, at 42. Oh, okay, no, 38. Take it to 38. 38.
Kneel down.
Take it a little further behind. Yes, that's fine.
In the local language. Mr. Interpreter, we said?
Yes.
Great. So we can proceed from where we stopped. That was after being beaten by the junglers, you were led to the NIA, correct?
Yes.
What happened when you arrived at the NIA?
Could you take it a minute before? But Mr. Chair, I do that because he had mentioned the leader of the junglers on that, and it is important that we get that point because we've done that before.
Yes, please go ahead. Go ahead and get them. Get this one out of the way.
Yes, take it to 4.
And where was this destination?
It was NIA premises.
Sorry, Mr. Witness, let me just confer with Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, do you need interpretation?
Save your skin. Then I say, but I've told you clearly I don't know anything about this school. Sir, then you are going to suffer here.
Can you tell us where at the NIA this conversation happened?
Reception.
And who were the people present then?
The junglers, led by Musa Jammeh then. We call the Malia Mungo, Captain Musa Jammeh is late.
And what did you understand by the advice they were giving you?
I just want to make sure they have done a good job by confirming that these good brothers.
And after that, what happened?
Then they led me to a flower bed. Flowers. Exactly, just behind, between the blocks at the NIA, behind. And there I was asked to kneel down. With my hands still cuffed. And then started sending questions.
Sorry, at what point did they cuff your hands?
He's departing from mile 2.
Go on, please.
Then they asked me questions by my role in involvement. By tonight, I was not involved. stick me from behind. I fell on my stomach. And the sticks and the whole type of material started, beating, raining on my body. The Musajame intervened. He said, wait. Don't you know this man is going on TV by tomorrow? So just be careful. Then I was made to kneel down again. And further questions started coming again. I was still denied. So then this continued for almost 30 to 1 hour.
What were they using to beat you with?
You have sticks, wire coils, you have this trunk, I don't know they call it. Hose pipes. Some use their feet, some use their hands. There was no specific materials used.
How many of them were beating you at the same time?
Yeah, almost 4 to 6 people.
Are you able to recall the individuals that were beating you?
All these 3 as I told you, that is Korea, Jaju, Modu Jaju, Sana Manjang. Musa was the conducting officer, Musa Jamme. He never beat me, definitely.
How about Malik Jata?
Malik was present, but he said he was not going to beat me because a special thing with Malik.
During the time when they were beating you, were there any NIA officers present?
Yeah, might be, but I didn't see them physically. Because during the statement writing, they'll collect paper from me and they will climb up. They come with certain things to be changed or adjusted.
We'll get there gradually. Let's just focus on the beating. You were beaten for about 20 to 30 minutes.
Yes.
And during the course of the beating, you said that Malik, was it Musa Jame, cautioned them?
Yes.
That you're supposed to appear on TV.
Yes.
Can you tell us what he meant by that?
Yeah, I came to understand that they trying to avoid to wound me in the area that can be exposed to the world. To know this year has gone through.
One please.
Because Farin Sanyang was wounded all over the head. I could remember they refused to show him on TV. Only broadcasted on the radio. I came to understand that statement.
Can you tell us the parts of your body that were being beaten? After this word of caution from Musa Jame.
It was virtually from my back directly to the feet. That's only a busy beating. The face and the stomach is exposed area we all avoided.
What happened after the beating?
Then I was asked to write this statement.
Was it immediately after the beating that you were asked to write a statement?
Yeah, but the beating was like, it was going with what they want me to say, what they want me to know about, you know. So as you go on here, I pity 2 to 5 minutes, or they will stop and ask you questions, and ask you questions. Then after they then ask you now, after that statement.
ni bude minute lulu ya na londi ye nyini ka puriya yisab makon di safero ka wala nyamon ye bude do mandi ya londi nem bude do mandi ya londi ye nyini ka.
Then they asked me to write a statement exactly about what I know about this school.
Jedo ina na ko sila nganna kuma ko di ni safero do fang ngamel longa ko nyinto menketa kude dani na karola.
Then I wrote at first
follow nga safero ke.
When they read it,
apriya kara.
Then they took it to that somebody there, I don't know, at the top.
Ya samba modo e santo mala juma kendi juma kilimu ya samba e santo.
Then they'll come down, Musa Jame himself will take it there and then come down.
Ate Musa Jame found ka kaito nyin samba ngamen samba na ijina nkoteke.
With things to change and adjust.
Waro do ninga jina na saitani na kujambe talala wara jambe la falale.
Yeah, so he was going until they think they were satisfied.
Intarta wala ke kan fo waro mena ise wota ko nyinto.
I remember some of the statements still.
Hakilo ba kan wa kuma kan nyin ngamen di nyin safaro hakilo be dol fangol kanne.
Even Justice Ajim confirmed that they were squeezed in during our time during the trial court martial.
Hani joyo nyi wa joyo government Justice Ajim o fa ina na kala mudala ko na kitiyo nyi binyen kono ko de do kala jero wato mena be na kuma ko nyin tala.
You mentioned that while after writing your statement they would take it to someone upstairs.
Yes.
And they will come back with several suggestions to be made on the statement.
Yes.
Why do you think they were doing that?
They are trying to collaborate statements. One of the statements they showed to me was a Punjab statement. General Second statement. And then was a camera. These are collaborated.
Were you shown these statements prior to you writing yours or after you had written your statement?
Yolu itandila le janning itebela kumakam safela bang foila kumakam saferin kola lo inata wala kumakam itandila.
Yeah, during the writing.
Safero nyi video nyi konola.
They will tell you, look, Bunjada was said this year.
Ba fulen na bayanko yajela Bunjada ko nyi.
But you said this.
Bayita ko nyi.
So naturally, you have to adjust yourself to be in line with Bunja to at least collaborate.
Jedo fai finansi da ko la fa do manding yorando ya fali pour ini nyindo ini Bunja tal si nyomura.
Did you do that willingly?
Yo dunke adiyate famale ka okelba.
Never.
Adi.
The words that were written on your statement, do you believe that those were yours?
Monta kumakam men be saferi ilo kumakam to ila tala koy fawla ko mol lembal.
Yeah, false words, yes.
Kumakam followed ha.
False words.
Kumakam followed.
Forced to do it.
Force le prayake.
Apart from the junglers, were there any other individuals that were coordinating the writing of your statement?
It's not directly as I told you. But the statement I told you will be edited somewhere. I don't know who were there. And I've appeared as a single panel. I've never appeared.
After they were satisfied with the content of your statement,
birin itata hanu fo ite sulata kuma kam fasongolu menno la kabo ite la karola birin ite sewota wala.
Can you tell us what happened?
They took me back. And then just to remind me that tomorrow you are going to give your statement on TV. So if you deviate from this, more torture is going to follow.
Who was giving you this warning?
It was Musa Jammeh.
And you believe that if you deviated from the statement, he is going to carry out those threats on you?
Yeah, in fact, worse.
So what happened afterwards?
Then we were there, the 23rd in the morning.
Before the 23rd, my apologies. Were you the only one that was taken to Mile 2 on the 21st at night?
No, there are many, including Wasa Kamara. Farin came 2 days after.
Farin nada tilifula kola.
Bunja Dabo.
Permendi. Savage.
Yoro Jallo. Dukarim Jah. We are many.
Do you know if these individuals you've named were also tortured on that first night?
I
don't remember the same night, but I know everybody was tortured there. I remember I even used to exchange medicine with Farin Sanyang. Wasa, we had to help them. Is it the second or third day to even take bath?
Tell us what happened to you on the second day.
Yeah, that was when we are called in the morning. We took us to the same NIA premises. And we found an organized area. Then the GRTS was also there. So Lantombong Tamba was there. The then IG Usman Sonko was there. Then Musa Jammeh was there. The other soldiers, the whole place was compact. Then you sit alone somewhere. And the rest, the 3 sides of the table is full of people, soldiers. And GRTS crew will focus on you. Camera.
Before appearing on camera, did they say anything to you?
No, nothing. Only Lantombong just greeted me. I said, yes, sir.
Apart from Tombong, did anyone say anything else to you from the time you were taken from Mile 2 prisons to the NIA this second day?
The only brief I got was, as I told you, just come and give out your knowledge, involvement, roles, in this planned coup or failed coup.
Kumo men soto jere men fanyole nyindi ko men fanyole nyindi ko nana yela kuma kan di londo re men lon ni coup d'etat me yalan ko coup d'etat bayi ngolen e londo men soto jere na wodi.
And then and the other thing is like they tell you at the end of your statement, just plead to the president to that is an error, you have regretted, and then you can maybe be pardoned.
And we kuma ko nyi na laban blado ka men foye to membe je wala nyindi ko si ay tan dije ko president nyi asi jamve ko nyimu filole de benkete budu ata kila kotange ko la foye o keji.
They said the biggest target was Nduricham, who they are looking for.
Katum yayi foje ko ida be men fa de ma ka memu ko fa ko ngodi wala Nduricham ti.
The president is happy that no blood was shed and nobody was found in action. Nobody was found in your bed, so that shows that we are not committed to it. We are just being baffled by Nduricham.
Ko yeni dande ko momam barma ko nyin kono yimo betare la bungola kono belare la bungola kono bari Nduricham wala kada mod be an ko wala yal nene kal dun nyin ko kono.
That was all they were telling.
Thank you very much.
Baraka Bake.
Thank you, Council. If you have any follow-up remarks to make, please do so, and then my witness would say the points that he wanted to raise in reply to Bishop. Please go ahead, Council.
Mr. Witness, is Yaya Dabo live?
Sedo Yaya Dabo abefanyia laba.
Council, these are the issues that I always have problem with you. Yaya has said a lot of things. So I can't imagine you asking me whether he was lying or not. The torture that he was talking about, according to him, it was done downstairs. And I was upstairs. As we are seated here, I don't think we'll be aware of any action that goes on outside. And this is somebody who said from there he was taken back to mile 2. The panel never instructed that let him be tortured.
Sorry?
The panel never instructed that let him be tortured. Because already he made his confession. Only the statement that he didn't write. Eventually he wrote the following day. So taking him and be tortured behind the building was not sanctioned by the panel.
General, I have never at any stage indicated that you sanctioned the torture of Yaya Dabo. What we have done is to show that Yaya Dabo, what he said happened to him, is consistent with what the other witnesses said. They were tortured with a view to obtaining a confession, and they are paraded before the television in a stage environment to make believe that these people are confessing voluntarily. And pass as part of the cover-up. They avoided hitting him in areas where it would be visible when they are paraded on television. That is the whole essence of what we are saying. I mean, if you are under the impression that what I am trying to do here is that Tombong Tamba organized these tortures, if that is what you think, you're making a big mistake. That is not the case. And I will not be dishonest for any reason. I will try to characterize the evidence as I see it honestly. The whole essence of what we were doing is to establish the system that was used to extract the confessions. All participants in the system, from the NIA Director General at the time or Acting Director General at the time,
NIA Director General
to Alaji Martin from State House, from the junglers to the junglers who were sent by Jammeh to torture, and the victims who were tortured. All of them suggested that members of the panel, and including yourself, were aware that these tortures were going on with the view to extracting confessions. That is the point. I am not suggesting that you had control over it.
That point is not true. And I gave my reason strongly here. What point? The point of saying that we sanction the torture. But
I think we are on the same point on that.
Okay.
I clearly said we are not saying that you personally organized the tortures. The only point we are making, the only 2 points we are making, is that there was a system that was organized to obtain the confessions. And you were aware of it.
That is wrong. I have said it here that when they were seated before, individually before the panel, they confess their involvement without anybody touching them. And I think this was the same statement that Haidara made. And all other panel members, if they sit before you here, they will give the same confession. So I want it to be stated in that right way.
In fact, you are telling this commission that all these people came, they confessed voluntarily, they left. It was after that they were tortured.
Whatever happened outside the panel, that is not to the control of the panel. We've had Yaya Dabo statement. Yaya said when he left the panel, that was when they took him behind and tortured him. From there he was taken back to my room. So how would the panel...
sorry, Yaya did not say that.
What did he say?
Yaya said he was taken from mile 2. Taken to NIA. Even before he was taken up to the panel, he was being tortured.
Okay.
And just hear me out. Okay. Just hear me out. And they were taking a statement from him. The junglers, they were going up and reading these statements upstairs, making amendments, bringing it down. He would be beaten to obtain the information that they want. It was the next day, after they have obtained what they wanted, that they put him before the television. Confess.
Council, the statement recorder
council kumakaw nyine menka record
has never been the junglers.
Nanamange jongulati.
This statement recorders
menga kumakaw nyi record.
They come from the police.
But the police all fanna.
Of course, they have an office where they take the statements.
Ka yepo office do so do ikaira kumakaw.
So it was the junglers that took the statement.
Manke jongula le kumakaw nyinta safero.
Look, from what the witness said, he was not asked who was writing the statement. I can only say the evidence, bring out the evidence as it was said by the witness. But that is what he said. The important point here, or the important points for us are two. A system was established to produce these confessions. If the person does not confess before the panel, the person is taken out and tortured. When confessions are obtained through the torture process, the person is taken back to the panel at some stage with threats that if you don't confess again, the same thing would happen. The person would eventually confess. Statements are taken, and the person is paraded before the TV to affirm what he said in his statement and to plead forgiveness from President Jammeh as if all these things were genuine. The other point is whether or not you could stop it, whether or not you agreed with it, whether or not you deplored it, whether or not you condemned it, you knew it was happening. You knew that was the system. Whether you agreed or not, this was the system. And this is the case. We can discern, we can learn from the material that has been presented. And the statement by Haidara said, yes, you knew this was happening. You tried to stop it. It still continued. That is Haidara's version. Your version is you did not know about it. You knew only one, and you stopped it. This is the difference.
And Haidara mentioned that he informed me. Certainly he informed me, I came to know about it. If I knew about it, Haidara wouldn't have informed me. But he said he informed me so that I can take action, so that let it be stopped. So what's the sense of he informing me when I'm already in the picture?
General, let's not mischaracterize what Haidara said.
For what you read,
he said the panel tried everything to stop them from brutal treatment of suspects to no avail.
yes, continue. That brought my issue.
That means that they have taken steps to stop it, but it still continued. You agreed that's what he said.
Let's move on. Continue reading.
Answer my question. Do
Song
you agree that's what he said?
Yes,
You tried to stop it, but it still continued.
Also, stopping it from the day even I saw Pari was seriously beaten.
Certainly
I took my stance.
I think I have said it quite clearly here, and I will say it again, that it was a noble thing to do, take a position on that and say it should not happen. I said that here. When you intervened for Sirif Diba, I said that was the right thing to do. So what is right, I will point it out. The witness here is saying the panel has tried to stop it. It continued. The difference is you are refusing to say that you had knowledge that this was going on. That is what you refuse to do. And I am telling you that all this evidence, all the witnesses, they all suggest that you knew what was going on. You are the only one denying it. The only one you are prepared to accept is the case of Faring. But we are not saying Faring was the only person. We are saying everybody else went through the same system. And for the period you were there, you knew this was the system. Whether you were powerless, whether you tried to stop it and failed, whether you agreed with it, is for you to say. And that is why I said I rolled out the red carpet. It's for you now to tell us. And if you want to hear my real opinion, perhaps now I should say it. But the evidence point to the suggestion that you had knowledge. All other witnesses suggest that you went along with it. It's only Haidara who said, well, you tried to stop it. To no avail, which means that it continued. What is your own position? Is it a completely different position? That you had no knowledge at all? Or is it that you knew about it, you tried to stop it but you couldn't? Or is it the case that you approved and went along with it? So here are three different scenarios. Worst case scenario is you agreed with it. The second scenario you knew about it, you tried to stop it, but you couldn't. The third scenario is you had no knowledge at all. Where do you fall?
Council, I wouldn't say I have no knowledge about it.
Okay, let's get that on the record.
Because, what record? I've not learned it. Because Farin Sanyang told me about his torture. And of course, I took action. Hydra did affirm that he also brought it to my attention. That despite all the efforts I've made, I did not succeed in stopping it.
Well, I have said over 2 hours ago that I am rolling out the red carpet. I bring this out to you. But throughout that period, you are denying knowledge. If you had said early on you had knowledge, you did everything possible to stop it, but you could not, and this continued, we would have moved on a long time ago. I put this proposition to you, you denied it.
That is not correct, Council. I will still come back. I know Odiko don't want to hear the issue of Farin Sanyang. But how did I take action? I took action, so that answers you.
General, the problem I have raised it is, you say you have knowledge only of the Farin case. That is just one. What the evidence is saying is that you had knowledge of a system. A system that produced multiple confessions of more than 10 people who came and were tortured, and they had to confess. Did you have knowledge of that? Not just this one case of Farin, but the many cases of torture. Will you now accept that you had knowledge that torture was part of the system of producing the confession?
Council, I have mentioned that when Hydra reported to me, he confirmed and suggested to me that I should take it up with the president. Certainly I took up my stand.
Mr. Chair, I crave your indulgence to do it again. I will roll out the red carpet again.
If you can do it briefly.
Did you have knowledge that as part of the process of doing the investigations and obtaining the confessions, the junglers were torturing the victims or the witnesses to confess?
Did you answer the question briefly?
Certainly I had a knowledge when I saw Farin Sanyang. And also when Hydra brought it to my attention.
And do you accept that that was the system? If you accept it, it's done. It's over.
Council, I think my answer is very clear. So whether I accept it as a system or not a system, it has been brought to my attention by 2 individuals. And I did my best to see that it was addressed. But I have said this here also. One of the reasons that led to my removal from the panel was because the president felt that I was sympathetic to the former speaker.
General, I think this can be very simple. This can be very simple. You knew that this was the system that was operating. From your own belief, you have done everything you could to stop it. Is that the case?
That was what I said.
So finally, you agree that you knew that this was the system.
I knew about it when it was brought to my attention. Certainly, yes.
And this was a system that was established by Yaya Jammeh, the person who controlled all the 4 components.
And so in evidence given, you don't give speculation. So if you say it's controlled by Yaya Jammeh, that is your understanding.
General, I would leave the commission to decide that issue.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I think I should leave this point at that.
Yes.
We've heard propositions, we've heard denials, we've heard acceptances, and we should then leave it to the commission now to make its own conclusions.
Thank you very much.
The transcribers of the proceedings for yesterday and today are going to have a very easy time. 10 to 12 hours of proceedings that we had yesterday and today can be reduced to nothing more than 30 minutes because we have been repeating ourselves. They don't need them 12 hours of transcription. All that they need is just 30 minutes because the thing has just been repetition. I hope that doesn't really happen when we continue. Yesterday I said the same thing. Now here we are again. I'm going on repeating myself as well, otherwise the transcribers would dismiss me. Anyway, you reply, witness to our response to the points raised by Bishop Odiko. You are waiting for that. I give you that opportunity, please.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I think the issue of repeating was the blame on the lead counsel. I don't repeat issues on my own, but I repeat them following the questions that he put forward.
Sorry, we don't need to waste time on that. I'm talking about the proceedings contain nothing but repetition by all of us getting involved in it. So please continue addressing the points that you want to raise in response to Bishop.
Thank you, Chairman. On the points raised by Commissioner Odiko, he talked about comparisons and examples. I think comparison and examples, there was a reason why they were brought up. Because if I am giving certain explanations, I have to quote the setup, and that was what I did. So that the commission can have a better understanding of how that particular panel was set up. But if at all I am being attacked for giving those comparisons and examples, certainly I feel disappointed. Let me be allowed to handle my own version. And also he talked about the GRTS. Certainly the GRTS became at an early stage. This is just to document those proceedings. Sorry? Those proceedings. And I did advise this commission that those recordings of GRTS might be of vital importance to you. But if he feels that my comparison or examples are irrelevant, then I say I'm sorry.
Thank you. Council, if you don't have any further questions, I intend to bring this proceedings to and for today? Or do you have
yes, Mr. Chair, I will shelve all further questions till tomorrow. It is far too late, but we still have a bit of ground to cover, and you see, we would see the difference tomorrow when the shoe is on the other foot. Thank you.
So Council is preempting what is going to be said tomorrow, which I feel disappointed equally. You don't preempt something that is going to be said tomorrow. So
I never said what was to be said tomorrow.
Of course, that's what you said. What is going to be said tomorrow?
Anyway,
we will see the difference. That's what you said, Council.
We will resume our proceedings tomorrow morning sharp at 10 o'clock. Well, thank you all very much. I'm sorry for the late.
Thank you.
Meetings adjourned.
With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's Money Transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics. If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland and the rest of the world, Supersonics Money Transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina with less hassle.